Good morning. Welcome to our conference, The Philippines, Spain, and Globalization, 16th Century to the Present. We are pleased to have you with us here in the meeting. We're also happy to announce that the meeting is being live streamed via Facebook as well as YouTube. And to start our conference, may we begin with the Philippine National Anthem and an invocation that we will play on video. May we request everyone to turn their mics off as well as their videos off throughout the opening ceremonies.
Magiliw, pelas ang sinanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, duyan ka ng magiting, sa manlulupig, di ka pasisingin. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simoy at sa langit mong bukaw, may nilagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang kislap ng watawat mo'y tagumpay na nagdiningning, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pa may magdidilim. Lupa ng araw ng walhating pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang ligaya na pag may mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Once again, welcome to our conference, The Philippines, Spain, and Globalization, 16th Century to the Present. And we're happy to have you here. And wherever you are, good morning, good evening. We are live across many platforms, across different time zones. And we are so happy that our participants are with us here today. Now, to start off our conference, I would like to play a recorded video by the Dean of the School of Social Sciences, Dr. Fernando Aldaba.
Professor Xavier Delemps, our keynote speaker for today, Dr. Filomeno Aguilar Jr., Philippine Studies Editor, Dr. Michael Pante, Managing Editor, Colleagues and friends, good morning and welcome to this international conference entitled The Philippines, Spain, and Globalization, 16th Century to the Present. Spain and the Philippines share a common history which started almost 500 years ago when the latter became the sole Spanish colony in Asia for more than 300 years. As the introduction to this conference notes, and I quote, "The conquest by Spain of the islands that became the Philippines is the country's incorporation into globalization." End of quote. The conference will tackle various papers, mostly on the history of the 5-decade relationship between the Philippines and Spain. I am no historian, so I will not delve into this arena, but let me share what I quickly gathered on the present Philippine-Spanish engagement, especially in the realm of the economies of both countries. After 73 years of official diplomatic relations, trade between the Philippines and Spain has been rising at a compounded annual growth rate of around 17%. The value of Philippine imports from Spain amounts to $630 million US, while exports total nearly $200 million US in 2019. Main imported goods include meat, beverage and spirits, perfumes and cosmetics, and pharmaceutical products. Our exports include vegetable fats and oils, fish and crustaceans, fruit and nuts, machinery and boilers. However, Spain still lags behind other European countries like Germany, France, Netherlands, UK, and Italy in terms of trade relations with the Philippines. Another indicator of economic activity in the two countries is investment. In 2017, Spanish investments to Manila was almost negligible at only 2.7 million euros, while Filipino investments to Spain reached 150 million euros. With regard to tourism arrivals, some 32 to 35,000 Spaniards visit the Philippines each year, while around 60,000 Filipinos travel to Spain. There are now an estimated 200,000 Filipinos living in Spain, including 40,000 who have found employment in the country. Filipinos working in Spain are in the health and medical industry, with most of them nurses and doctors. We can also count many Filipino teachers practicing their profession in Spain. The Philippines is the only country in Asia to receive more aid and development assistance from Spain than any other country in the region, as it remains a priority of Spanish aid through its agency, Agencia Española de Cooperación Internacional para el Desarrollo, or ACID in short. ACID funds projects in the Philippines related to human rights and the rule of law, peace building, resilience and disaster risk reduction management, gender and development, humanitarian action, and cultural cooperation. Our very own Southeast Asian Studies program in Ateneo is an ACID partner as we pilot training modules in peace building and conflict management for local governments in Mindanao. As you can see, despite the long history of Philippine-Spanish relations, the economic ties between the two countries, while being sustained, still needs to be enhanced. International conferences like the one we are having right now are very important in order to strengthen the relations between Spain and the Philippines. These conferences are essential people-to-people exchanges that deepen the understanding of each other's culture and socio-economic realities. I hope that you will have a very fruitful online conference. And I think this is our very first international online conference here in the Ateneo. It is just one example of the new globalization aided by digital technologies during this pandemic. So welcome once again and good morning.
And on behalf of the journal team of Philippine Studies Historical and Ethnographic Viewpoints, we would like to thank Dr. Fernando Aldaba for taking the time to record his opening remarks for our conference. And as we move along the opening ceremonies, let me just state some of the most important reminders for us participants here in the Zoom conference. First would be to be conscious of the time. Each paper is given 20 minutes for presentation. And so sticking to the time limit is a matter of courtesy to fellow presenters and ensures adequate time for interaction with the audience. We'll have the opportunity to ask questions as in a face-to-face conference. If you will use a PowerPoint presentation, make sure that it's already open and ready to be presented on your desktop. When it's your turn to present, make sure your microphone and videos are turned on. Please click the share screen function so that conference participants will see your slides. And then you can run the PowerPoint using the arrow keys on the lower left side of the screen. A reminder that the panel moderator, who will be someone from the journal team, will alert the presenter when there are only 5 minutes left for the presentation. A presenter who has exceeded the allotted time will also be alerted to end the presentation immediately. We regret that these alerts will be audible to conference participants, and we enjoin presenters to plan ahead and ensure that they can complete their presentation within the allotted 20 minutes. While someone is making a presentation, everyone else is requested to go on mute, to eliminate background noise, and disable their video to minimize the bandwidth requirement. After all paper presenters have made their presentations, the session will be open to discussion. Anyone who wants to make a comment or raise a question should unmute and turn on their video. You can raise your hand by following these instructions. Click on the participants icon on the main menu, and then click on the raise hand icon at the bottom of the participants tab that appears on the right side of your screen. You will then be asked by the moderator to speak. Make your comment or question as direct to the point as possible. And then afterwards, please return to mute and turn off your video. Each panel will have someone from the conference committee to act as moderator. Moderators will ensure that presentations will begin and end on time and that the conference guidelines are implemented. During parallel sessions, participants will be pre-assigned to your preferred panels based on the information you gave us through the Google form. And then if you wish to leave the breakout room, just click on the leave button and you will be able to leave the breakout room. If you wish to rejoin again, click on the link again in the Zoom invitation found in your email. Now, during the actual conference, any participant who wishes to move to another panel can use the chat function to signal the conference organizers their desire. Conference organizers will do their best to make the transfer, but it is not guaranteed. Now, note that the entire conference will be recorded and live streamed. All panels that are marked A will be live streamed via Facebook, and all panels marked B, as well as the 2 roundtable discussions, will be live streamed via YouTube. Take note that keynote addresses will be live streamed on both Facebook and YouTube. Please avoid using other gadgets to record your presentation, as these actions may lead to feedback. But if you wish to record any part of the conference, you may do so using Zoom's recording function. And be reminded that conference proceedings will also be uploaded to the journal's YouTube channel. And with that, we would like to open the sessions at this point. You will now be assigned to the rooms that you indicated in the Google form we sent you previously. So again, good day to everyone, and let's all enjoy the presentations of this 2-day conference. Thank you and good morning.